The Perth Motorplex, one of the best dirt track facilities in the Southern Hemisphere. Tonight, the Kwinana Beach venue plays host to the sport's richest domestic tournament, the AHG Sprintcar Series. You'll have the best seat available, as many of the sport's top drivers cut loose in search of sprint car supremacy. Our coverage supported by AHG, your motoring partner. On speed, this is Chequered Flag, presented by Valvoline SynPower, providing the ultimate motor oil protection and performance. Good to have your company in perfect weather conditions at the Perth Motorplex as the AHG Sprintcar Series continues. A massive crowd pouring into the venue for this most recent instalment of a tournament that has certainly captured the imagination of the motor racing public in Western Australia. A stellar driver lineup here tonight, once again to do battle on the wide open spaces of the Perth Motorplex. The tournament looks this way. Heading into tonight's round, Luke Dillon on top in advance of Cameron Gessner, Jason Pride and the rookie Cale Soteroff. And he is with Charmaine.
Cale, I thought I'd grab you and have a quick chat because you're a rookie to the sprint cars.
Yeah, as it is. It's our first year of the 410, so yeah, just having a good time.
And how's it all going for you?
It's going actually a lot better than what we thought it would go. We sort of wanted to see if we could make the chase, but we found ourselves in fourth at the moment, so sort of try and hold on to that and see where we can end up.
Well, it's a great spot to be in. Now, you were saying before you started out in junior sedan?
Yeah, we started when we were 12, just in a little charade, and sort of progressed from there, and had a good reel last year of juniors, was really good for us, and then we sort of decided to move into the limited sprint car, yeah.
What's it like going from like a junior sedan into a 410 sprint car?
I think the jump from the junior sedan to the limited probably wasn't quite as bad as the 360 to the 410 for some reason. I don't know why. Probably just because of the levels just so much more right up there. So, yeah, it's been harder from 360 to the 410 rather than junior to a sprint car.
Now, you're racing here in Perth and there's heaps of good races. You've got Jamie Maiolo, you've got Cameron Gessner, Mark Wells. Do you learn off them as you go?
Yeah, probably since Mark moved to Mandurah, we probably haven't spoken as much as probably what people think we have, but just been watching all of them really our whole life and since we've been racing junior, so it's good to finally get with them and see what they're all about and see what it's like.
What's your team's goals for this season?
So just like if we can make the chase, that'd be pretty good. Like real, that's our ultimate goal. So if we can sort of sneak in under the radar, we'll be pretty happy with that.
Well, thank you for your time. Good luck for the season and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Since joining the AHG Sprintcar Series late last season, Ryan Lancaster has quickly established himself as a competitor who is consistently finishing races. Originally from Tom Price in the Pilbara region of Western Australia, Price started his speedway career at the age of 10 in junior sedans before progressing to modified sedans. He then turned to quad motocross racing, where he twice won the Australian Championship for Yamaha. Making the big step into sprint car racing last season was the realisation of a childhood dream for Lancaster, and he's relishing the challenge.
Well, I guess as a kid you watch the sprint cars go around, and to me it's pretty much the ultimate car, I think. So it was always something we wanted to do. When we got the opportunity now, we took up on it, and yeah, we're enjoying it.
So growing up, that was always the aim to hit the big guns, the 410s?
I think so. I changed directions with motocross for a few years, and then yeah, obviously my stepdad mainly was the one who really loved sprint cars, and obviously when we got the opportunity, we both did it and never looked back.
Lancaster has a strong affinity with anything that has an engine, and he was very motivated when it came to deciding which direction he wanted to take in racing.
I don't think really anyone, to be honest. Just growing up in a small town, there wasn't really much to do, so anything with a motor I've always been interested in, so that was where I wanted to sort of go. I'm not very good with team sports, so yeah, just anything with a motor is great.
Who's your racing hero?
I'd have to say definitely Ron Cricky when it comes to sprint cars. I was a huge fan of his and growing up. So yeah, he'd be my main man.
Although he's yet to achieve success in sprint car racing, Lancaster remembers with fondness his time racing quad motocross bikes, both domestically and internationally.
That was great. It's sort of the same thing. It started out as just riding a bike in Tom Price and just went from there. We used to travel a lot. Obviously, we were based out there with work, and we'd have to sort of travel a 14-hour trip to Perth to do the state rounds and fly around Australia to race the East Coast side of things.
So did your whole family get involved with that?
Yeah, definitely. We all sort of travelled at the start as we could, but work sort of slowed it down a bit there. It was just me, mum, and my girlfriend and my best mate Daniel, who travelled around with us everywhere. And yeah, basically every big meet they could get to, they did, but it was a bit hard.
Since joining the AHG series, Lancaster has been in awe at the level of competition that he races against, as well as absorbing everything that he can to improve as a driver. He's also impressed with how professional and successful the AHG series has become.
Very overwhelming. I remember my first race, or even still now, I'm just trying to do my own thing and trying to stay out the road, I guess, while I learn. But yeah, it's a big fish pond. There's a lot of great talented cars, and yeah, it's overwhelming for me, but thoroughly enjoy it. We've got the best venue, I think, anywhere in the world from what I've seen, so we're very lucky there.
Do you learn off them though? Do you have chats and pick their brains?
Not really have a chat, so I haven't really had a chance to meet many people, but the few that I have been very friendly, and yeah, guess you're just trying to learn off watching them drive, and I set the car up myself, so just trying to learn that side of things has probably been the biggest challenge. So
yeah, he's on a steep learning curve, is Ryan Lancaster, and a couple of guys with me in commentary that know what that's all about are Sammy Walsh and Warren Ferguson. Good evening, Sammy.
Good evening, David. Great to be here. Another instalment of the AHG series. Excited to see it run out.
And Warren, beautiful evening in Perth.
It certainly is. Very nice here and good to see a great field.
Jason Kendrick has got his account off to a flying start tonight, recording quick time 13.79. Here he is with Charmaine.
Congratulations, Jason. You just got quick time for tonight. You've had about 3 quick times this year so far, but you haven't been doing too well on the track. Could this be your night?
Oh, we hope so. We've been always good in qualifying, but we just need to transfer that to a win. So hopefully tonight we can just have some consistent heats and put it towards the front so we can have a good opportunity to win this feature.
Great. Well, good luck for tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, luck's an interesting word when you sum up Jason Kendrick and his racing over the last 12 months. He hasn't had very much of it. Perhaps tonight will be the start of a resurgence back to his best form with the former West Australian Sprint Car champion. So a good-looking field here in the opening qualifying heat with Taylor and Beckingham sharing the front row. Ian Loudon, the former Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic champion out of Sydney, in the 65 car inside second row. Kendrick right at the back. Young Mayolo is towards the back end of the field as well. And we are underway with the opening heat and a 10-lap journey. Beckingham best to begin. He got a sizzling run off turn number 2, and the driver of car 24 in full flight leading this one comfortably.
Beckingham got a great jump. Russell Taylor really slow to get away, which sort of bunched the field up a little bit and allowed Beckingham to get away. But Pigden's had a huge run from the back of the field, and he's right up into second place.
He certainly has there, Sammy. He's gassing it through. You can see there on the slick, he's been able to make the car stick until I say that. But Loudon struggled with that line. I thought he would come right through and attack, but he hasn't been able to find his position yet.
Loudon up high on the circuit, having a crack, looking for racing room to effect a pass on Beckingham, and he opts for the inside run. He took a page out of Pigden's book, who did that a little earlier. So excellent performance from Pigden from the back of the pack, has roared to the lead, and with 4 laps completed, he is looking really good out there on a track that is fairly slick early in proceedings. It's a warm day in Perth. There's the race updates.
Yeah, basically as slick as we ever see it early on in proceedings, but Pigden utilising the moisture on the outside to create some momentum. At the moment we go back to Kendrick, who's also dicing his way through the field, but yeah, Pigden relying on that moisture up on the outside to get to the front.
Now the Valvoline SynPower replay. That's how Pigden did it, affecting the inside slingshot on the early lead of Beckingham. Beckingham held his nerve and he tried to make a battle out of it on the inside, but Pigden had too much momentum, and Pigden's front wing has collapsed. How much of a disadvantage would that be on the high banks of the Motorplex?
Well, you can see as it comes off the corner, it just gets a little light in the front wheels and starts to understeer a little bit. But, you know, these sort of track conditions, it won't be that much of a hazard. If it was hooked up and fast, it really would have been an issue for him, but he should be able to get away with it, I believe.
So lap 9 of 10 now in the opening heat, the AHG Sprintcar Series. And you're watching Trent Pigden in full flight. Those of you watching that are sprint car devotees would be aware of the fact he ran the entire World Series Sprint Cars Championship campaign last season. It did him the world of good. He in fact had nominated to do likewise again this summer, but then opted instead to concentrate his activities racing in the West. But he has improved a great deal. There's the checker flying in the opening heat. He beat Ian Loudon by about 3 car lengths. Bradley Mayolo did well. He started second last on the grid and crept up to third. Williamson in fourth and Kendrick a solid drive in fifth. And that is all she wrote in the opening heat here. Good crowd, balmy conditions at the Perth Motorplex, located at Kwinana Beach, about 40 minutes south of the city of Perth. Pigden, he turns out a really nicely presented team, the PMS Pigden Motorsport team. Charmaine, as you can see, is heading down into position to have a chat with the driver that won the opening heat. And he'll be fairly pleased with that, particularly the manner in which he got the job done, storming from the back. Very aggressive during the early stages. Down to Charmaine.
Congratulations, Trent. Looks like you got some wing damage there.
Yeah, the wing come down probably in about lap 3 or something like that, so it made it a bit difficult, but yeah, we'll get it fixed and we'll be good for the next one for sure.
Well, you got the win. What's the track like out there tonight?
It's really good actually. 1 and 2 sort of up high, and then 3 and 4's around the bottom, so I reckon it'll be real racy for the feature.
Well, good luck tonight.
Cheers, thank you.
So the action continues. Nice to have your company on the Speed Channel around Australia. The 19th consecutive season of Checkered Flag, presented by Valvoline Sin Power. There's the 9 cars, or 8 cars rather, engaged to do battle over another 10-lap journey. And the starting order now on screen, with Terry Cutts starting on pole position in the number 9 car. On his outside is Cale Soteroff, driver of car 76, whom we heard from at the commencement of today's program. Underway. Let's see how this works out. And on the outside, a decisive move by Terry Cutts. Certainly a man that has spent a lot of time racing sprint cars over an extended period, and it's showing here.
Yeah, Terry got a great jump there, and Brady there did well from the second row on the inside, the slicker part of the racetrack. I was a bit surprised, Sam, how Soteroff didn't quite get it going on the outside though.
Yeah, probably maybe a little bit of inexperience, possibly just didn't get the power to the ground quite right. But you know, it's tough to get off the front row off the inside, especially I think, because very slick down there, and you know, that's all the advantage should be on the outside. So yeah, interesting.
What a great battle here between Gessner and Jamie Mayolo. We rode on board with Gessner, and Cutts doing a fantastic job. There's the 69 machine of Sean Bradford. He's made good progress in the race. There's no change in the order as Cutts crosses the start-finish line. Sheldon Brady looking very solid in the second heat as the action continues at mid-race distance.
Gee, Cutts pushed it a bit too hard in there, and Brady, one would have to feel, Dave, that Brady maybe should have missed that situation.
Yeah, so Cutts has gone to the infield. Bradford, the beneficiary. He charges to the front, and Jamie Mayolo is now out after him in the 99 car. Sheldon Brady is still circulating. Another look at that. Cutts lost it on the exit of turn 4, and Brady, well, had nowhere to go. And Cutts was stuck mid-track at that point and had to find a way to get off the racing line. His front tyre was cut down, and as a driver, that presents a massive challenge, doesn't it? When you've had something go wrong, you're circulating mid-track or higher, you know you've got to get off the racing line. You've got no mirrors.
No, well, it's a real challenge, but I suppose the bigger challenge was probably going into the next corner. He didn't know what his car was going to do.
Yeah, always a scary thought when you, especially after a hit like that. Brady obviously had nowhere to go and sort of jumped over his left front, but the damage on the car is always a worry going to the next corner, as Warren said.
Yeah, but when you get in that situation, you can't confidently turn left and head to the infield. You're likely to be collected by a car on the fly. Speaking of on the fly, Mayolo made one heck of a race out of that in the final stages, but Bradford lasted long enough to get the job done. Mayolo second, then Scroop, Gessner and Lee Nash. So perhaps Gessner's team missing the setup slightly there in the opening heat. You generally see Cameron at the pointy end of any race that he participates in. So there's no doubt about Jamie Mayolo. He came from the clouds, and another lap or two, he would have been a major challenger for outright victory. Sean Bradford, as we know, he's been mixing speed car racing and sprint car racing this season. Started in a couple of rounds of the Speed Car Pro Series. And we also know that on his night, he can be as quick as anyone in the country. Let's go down to Charmaine Kendrick.
Congratulations, Sean. You could almost say you inherited that race.
Yeah, no, it was good. There's a couple of lead cars there, the 1 and 2. They sort of took each other out a bit and got around the outside of them without any trouble and took the win from there. But we did a good job coming off the rear. I'd already got to third pretty quick, so I'm pretty happy with the way the car's going.
Great. Track's feeling good tonight?
Yeah, it's a little patchy early on, but it'll come in nice, I think. It's going to go slick. The sun's been out all day, and a few warm days, it'll be pretty slick by the end, but hopefully we can be on the front row and shoot off with a win or a podium.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Thanks for that.
You're watching the 19th season of Checkered Flag, proudly presented by Valvoline Sin Power, delivering the ultimate motor oil protection and performance.
And we sincerely thank Valvoline for its continued support of Checkered Flag. Well, Sheldon Brady, we saw in that previous heat, he came together with the then race leader, Terry Cutts. Let's find out more.
Sheldon, you were doing great there, coming in second, got knocked out by Terry. Tell us what went wrong.
Yeah, I lost Terry in the side panel of the wing, and I didn't really see where he was, and unfortunately he got around a little bit too far and we hit him. It's a bit unfortunate, but we probably would have won that heat. We had a good car, the guys are doing a great job. My little girl told me to go win a race, so I just wanted to go out and win for her for Christmas, but it's a bit of a shame. So it was, unfortunately we got to finish the race, so we got some valuable points, but looks like it's going to put it at the back of the bus for the night.
You got the next heat. I'm sure you can come back from that.
Yeah, we had 8 the next heat, so we really needed to win that heat and then try and get in the top 5 for the second heat. But we'll see how we go. And the way the boys have been racing lately, there's not too many cars finishing, so we'll just hang in there and we'll enjoy it, and we'll go from there.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Sheldon Brady always has a smile on his dial. The Flex Motorsport operation, a wonderfully professional team, and Sheldon does a lot of work behind the scenes on the board of the Sprint Car Entrance Group too. Terry Cutts also involved in that incident.
Terry,
here he is.
what a shame for that heat. You were doing so well. Tell us what happened.
Oh, I just got a bit sideways and got cleaned up with someone else. That's part of the deal.
Now, you've just come back into a 410, that's correct?
Yeah, first race.
Is it good to be back, though? Like, give us a bit of a history. Where have you been? What have you been doing?
Oh, we had some health problems with one of my kids, so we're sort of away doing that. And then done a couple of seasons of 360, so we thought we'd give a 410 a crack.
And now this tonight.
That's okay.
But that's racing, and you've got one more heat to go. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, we'll be okay. No.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, good to see Terry back in racing. And gents, in some of those pit shots we saw, in hearing from Sheldon Brady and Terry Cutts, it's obviously the track is fairly abrasive on tyres tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to get into them there, Dave. I saw in the 10-lap race, it's really starting to eat up left rears. You expect a little bit maybe in a right rear, but to see the left rears like that, it's going to be interesting in the feature.
Okay, Kai Scroop then will start on pole position in heat race number 3 in the predominantly white car. On his outside is Jason Kendrick. If you've just joined our coverage, Kendrick setting quick time tonight. And Pigden on the outside of the second row. They stand on the gas in heat race number 3. Good crowd in tonight at the Perth Motorplex for the AHG Sprintcar Series. Kai Scroop, he says, catch me if you can, fellas. And he is absolutely cleared out. Look at the lead he's got already. Kendrick is second, and then on the track, third is Pigden.
Scroop got a great start, and the car looks fantastic out front. It's really, really driving forward, really hard, nice and tight through the middle of the corner, but not to the point where it's undrivable. And yeah, he looks really strong.
Yeah, he's just, I see there, first 2 laps, a little bit of left hand down. He's just keeping it above the slick there. A nice, fast part of the racetrack, but not getting too sideways. You saw some of the starters, they got a bit high. I think Trent Pigden was there, and they got really sideways. Kai's doing a great job right on the line.
Yeah, certainly got the situation where he's getting maximum power to the ground. You can see the front wheels just lifting off the track, albeit very briefly. There's Pigden. It's a beautifully turned out car as well. So the track, if you can get your rhythm and get up onto the cushion, is providing great momentum. They're all going really quickly here, as is evidenced by the type of race we're watching. They've spread out like an Indian scouting party.
Little interesting fact, as we watch Kai's car here, you'll see it come back to the left side going down the straightaway. That's the stagger in these cars. Some people wonder how hard they are to drive. You can see it's harder to drive almost on the straights at the moment than it is in the corners, because the car wants to spin around the wrong way.
Let's go a little further, explain to the uninitiated watching what you mean by stagger, Warren.
Stagger, well, the right rear is a hell of a lot larger than the left, basically, Dave. You know, you're talking about, what is it, about 12 inches of circumference difference. So when it goes down the straightaway, you actually have to chase the car on a long straight, like here at the Motorplex.
So in effect, stagger, or rolling stagger, as the terminology is often used in this sport, is the difference in circumference between the right and the left rear. So there you are.
That's right. It's what makes these cars get round the corners quickly.
Kai Scroop in absolute control of this race. His lead is out to 1/3 of a lap. This is some performance by the driver of car 89, and he's going to take the checkered flag as he exits turn number 4. That's a clinic. What a drive. Capitalising on his pole position start. Kendrick, wow, he could not stay with Scroop. Ben Pigden, Nash and Ian Loudon. There's your top 5. Your thoughts on that, Sammy? Dominant.
As I say, Scroop looked really good from the get-go, and if he can recreate that in the feature, he's going to be really tough to beat. You know, probably a little bit tight for traffic and a full fuel load, but definitely a great way to start.
Okay, here he is, Kai Scroop. And Warren, he just improves every season.
He has. He's looking real good, and I think as his confidence grows, it's amazing with these cars. Confidence makes you so much better week in, week out.
Running a KPC chassis, and it's working for him.
You've got to be a gymnast to get out of these things, Kai. Well done.
Yeah, no, thanks. It's a real credit to the boys. They did a good job and give me a good race car.
What's the plan for the feature?
Win it.
You're looking fast, so well done.
Thank you.
I like that answer. Your plans for the feature. Win it, of course. We're not here for a haircut, as Todd Wanless always says. Heat number 4. This is the final heat before we advance to tonight's main event. Hope you're enjoying this coverage of the AHG Sprintcar Series. Of course, AHG, your motoring partner, principal supporter of sprint car racing on the West Coast. Mayolo and Bradford will share the front row, then Pride and Gessner, Williamson and Mayolo, Beckingham, Brady, Cutts at the back. So a couple of young chargers on the front row here. Arguably the most improved driver in West Australian racing, the driver of car 77, Bradley Mayolo. He got on it nice and early, anticipated the green light. As they crossed the start-finish line, he led by a couple of car lengths. Bradford tried to serve it up to him on the inside, but Mayolo, too much momentum, Sammy.
Yeah, Mayolo got a great start and hung right around the cushion. Bradford went straight for the jugular in turn 1, but I think he knows if he didn't get it done then, Mayolo's going to take off with this one.
And that's exactly what he's doing at the present time. And there's Bradford lying in second position on the racetrack. Down the main straight, you can see at the bottom of screen there, wonderful crowd in tonight at the Motorplex. There's no doubt this venue is on the up and up. Here's a shot of Cam Gessner. Cam, well, he is third, has enjoyed so much success since he left Queensland and domiciled himself in Western Australia. Don't get me wrong, he had plenty of success in Queensland too, but he's been one of the really good boys in WA racing since he landed there.
Interesting watching Cam there before. Looks like he's got his car a little bit tight for these early conditions, and the guys are staying well above the slick. You can see that darker, smooth line on the bottom. They're keeping it up there in that juicier area of the racetrack and carrying momentum, which is probably making it a little bit one lane at the moment, Sammy.
Yeah, with the way the track is at the moment, cars are going really fast through the centre of the racetrack, and they're not able to create that sort of speed on the inside, so it's going to make it tough to pass. As the track does widen out, obviously it gets slower the longer you make the track. So as the track does wear on, we might see some more racing action. But yeah, Cam does look a little bit tight. The car's bucking around a little bit. He's sort of a bit like a rodeo rider in the saddle there at the moment.
A saddle bronc rider, you reckon? We rode on board with Cameron briefly as Sammy was describing the way his car's performing tonight. Of course, Sammy Walsh and Warren Ferguson, two fine sprint car drivers in their own right, joining us for the action on Checkered Flag. Maiolo looming closer to a lap car, able to effect an inside move without any dramas. And the driver to which I refer is Terry Cutts, whom of course we saw get into trouble in his opening heat tonight. He'd just be gratefully circulating given the circumstances. There's the checker though, and circulating better than anybody else in heat 4 was Bradley Maiolo. That was a big win. Bradford, then Gessner, Jamie Maiolo, and Callum Williamson in car 73 officially placed in 5th. So day gives way to night, and of course when we see that occur in this sport, we often see a major change come over the racetrack with the action on the clay. The surface, or rather the moisture tends to come up to the surface, and the track can become a bit tackier than it was early in proceedings. Bradley Maiolo extricates himself from the LJM Racing entry, and Charmaine will chat to him.
Congratulations, Brad. You seem to be pedal to the metal in that race.
Yeah, no, the car's going pretty good. We'll make a few adjustments though and see how we go for the feature.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah, definitely. We got our joker card, so we got to give it all.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, good work to young Maiolo. So the main event is next. Have a look at that crowd on the main straightaway at the Perth Motorplex. A beautiful facility, this Kwinana Beach venue. A beehive of activity in the pits ahead of tonight's main event. Let's head down to Charmaine.
Jason, you're starting out at position 2 for the feature race. It's a great place to be in.
Yeah, it's good to start on the front row, and just need to have a smart race and be there at the end, and hopefully be the one in front.
Well, good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Kendrick, he's got that look of steely determination, hasn't he? There's a Cameron Gessner outfit as his team prepares for hostilities. Back to Charmaine.
Cam, looks like you're having a bit of trouble with the car. Just explain to us what's going on.
Yeah, the car was jumping in and out of gear in the shootout, so went across the line there one time and it revved 10-1 free rev, so we don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully we've just found a problem. Didn't get a lap in the silver shootout because of the problem, so we're out of 5 and we'll see what happens.
But you think you'll be okay for the feature race?
Well, maybe, yeah. We found some adjustment. Might have been out on the gear in and out cable for the diff, so hopefully it's that. It's not an internal problem. We think we found it, so fingers crossed. It jumped in gear and then jumped out of gear, then it was going in and out. So I've never seen anything like it before. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you're currently sitting in position 2, like on the AHG series ladder. You can't miss this race.
No, we'll go out there and see what we can do. Points is not really a concern for me at the minute. It's pretty early in the championship, and obviously we got the chase. So we just want to win tonight. And that's the goal. So hopefully the track's a little hard to pass. It's pretty black on the bottom, and it's got a bit of a tough cushion up there. So 25 laps. We'll see what happens.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Interesting insight there from Cameron Gessner. He alluded to the shootout. There's the results on screen, and of course Sean Bradford winning that dash against the clock, and by virtue of that result he starts on pole. Here he is right now.
Sean, you won the dash. You're starting on pole position. What are you thinking?
Yeah, it's good to be starting there, but you've got everything to lose, so we just got to keep a calm head and get out to a good lead if we can, get the jump on the start, and then just bring it home safe.
The track's looking really slick, so it's fast.
Yeah, it's quite fast up the top, so I think if it blows off a little, slow up, and then we'll be probably do a bit more racing. At the moment it's really fast, so everyone just sort of runs around the same line and everyone's fast, but if it opens up it'll be a good race.
Well, good luck.
Thanks very much, Shane.
Having started his speedway career in 360 sprint cars, 20-year-old Callum Williamson has certainly experienced the highs and lows in his racing apprenticeship in the cut and thrust world of 410 cubic inch sprint car racing. A former member of the Speedway Australia Rising Star program, Williamson joined the AHG Sprintcar series in the 2011-12 season after learning the ropes in 360s for 2 seasons. Prior to that, Williamson was competitive in the karting ranks in Western Australia and across the country. This season marks the 3rd term he's contested the AHG series, and whilst he's currently sitting in the top 10, he hopes he can do just enough to stay there as the chase approaches.
Yeah, we've had some unlucky runs at the start of the season, but now we're getting up there and finishing races, and at the moment I think I'm standing 7th in the points, so I think hopefully we get into the chase and we can start from there, restart the points and go ahead.
After racing karts until he was 16, the transition from tarmac to clay was initially a culture shock for Williamson, but fortunately he had the guidance and support of his dad, Carl, whom Callan rates as his major inspiration to go racing.
It's a whole complete different scenario. Like, you just jump in there and you just feel the power in the knees, and especially when you're on dirt and the grip's up and takes off, it's completely different. And these thing does wheel stands. You're in a go-kart that you can barely even slide around the track, so it's a lot of difference.
You've grown up around the speedway. Who's your biggest racing hero?
Yeah, it would have to be my dad, because he's done it years and years ago. So when he came home and said, yeah, do you want to go do it? So I said, yeah, and looking at what he did when he was doing racing just made me want to do it. So he's really inspired me in the last, 3 years to just keep on going with it. And the whole family's been supportive, making me wanting to do it, so it's been good.
Williamson Motorsport is a true family operation, and every member of his immediate family does their bit to prepare the car, including his mum, who works on the shock absorbers.
Yeah, she does all sorts actually. The whole family is really into the speedway. It's so supportive. Dad, he does the car and that. We've got my brother and them, they come down and watch every now and then, and he does the stickers on my car like he did last year and that. So the whole family's right into it, so it's good having them beside me. Wants me to go quicker and quicker.
So your dad does the setup and your mum does the shocks?
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it runs, I think.
And you just drive. You have one thing to do, drive the car.
Yeah, I just have to steer it. That's all I am.
Williamson feels fortunate that he is able to race wheel to wheel against some of the big names in Western Australian sprint car racing on a regular basis.
Yeah, those boys, they're something different, because they've all been around Speedway for that long, so it's hard to try to get up to the pace of what they're going at the moment. But seeing them when I was growing up and racing now against them is just huge. Getting beside them at the lights and then wanting to race them, it's just something different. It's really hard to be competitive with them, but now getting more qualifying and laps down and all that, so yeah, it's starting to be a bit better now running against them.
This is Checkered Flag, serving up a smorgasbord of the best dirt track action from round Australia. Proudly presented by Valvoline SynPower, delivering the ultimate motor oil protection and performance.
I'm standing here with Jason Kendrick's girlfriend, Hope. Hope, I'm just going to ask you a few questions. Let's get right into it. What do you do for work?
I work for AHG.
Does Jason have any pre-race rituals the night before race day?
No, not that I can say on camera.
What's Jason like on race day?
Normal, focused, just gets in the zone, I guess, does his thing. I don't really see him before the race, but same, normal.
What's Jason's star sign?
Aquarius.
Do you have to wash Jason's race gear after race night?
No, I don't do that.
What's Jason's favourite musician or band?
I don't think he has one.
What about his favourite TV show?
Sons of Anarchy.
How did you and Jason first meet and where?
Oh, that'll be thanks to you, doll. Through you. I met him through Charmaine. at their house, I think it was.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was a long time ago. We've been friends for a long time, so it was good. What was the last present Jason bought you?
My Christmas present, probably.
What was it?
I got American dollars because I'm going to America next year. I got a Mimco purse and a onesie, pajamas.
Is Jason helpful in the kitchen?
He is. He's very helpful. He does a lot around the house, yes.
How do you rate Jason's cooking?
He's pretty good, yeah.
What's his best meal?
Eggs on toast, maybe. I don't know, really. Whatever I make.
Do you teach him how to cook?
No. He's pretty good. We do it together, so it's good fun.
Do you enjoy coming to the races and watching your boyfriend race?
Yes, I do. It's good fun.
And what's Jason's favourite movie?
I don't know. I don't know if he has one. Anything with race cars.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Hope, and enjoy the races tonight.
Thank you, Charmaine.
Okay, it's business time now. Main event at the Perth Motorplex, the AHG Sprintcar Series. And the drivers form up for the traditional four-wide salute in front of an outstanding crowd tonight here at Kwinana Beach. Now, Sean Bradford, as we've told you, won the gold shootout. By virtue of that, he starts on pole, but he does have the choice of starting on the bottom or on the top, and I believe he's going to opt for the outside start, which will in fact put Kendrick on pole in real terms. But Bradford feels that is the place to be. The Maiolos share the second row of the grid. Then it's Gessner and Scroop. As we roll through the grid, you can see the starters and their positions. Another big thank you to AHG, your motoring partner, for their support in bringing you the sprint car action out of Western Australia for many years now on Checkered Flag. This will be a beauty. How do you see it going, Sammy?
Look, it probably a little bit strung out early on. I think the way the track is, it's very fast, but I think once we do get into traffic, it's going to be very tough to pass, and that'll make a real race of it.
Your thoughts, Warren?
Yeah, I agree with Sammy there. Lap traffic is going to be the key to this race, and I think it's going to cause a couple of these guys to struggle. You know, we've got 5 or 6 really fast cars up the front. They're all going to want to get at it pretty quick, and then we're probably going to see them enter traffic all at the same time.
On board with Jason Kendrick. That is some sight, isn't it? They exit turn number 4 and stand on the gas. We are underway with tonight's main event. You can see Maiolo snap to the inside there of Kendrick, but Kendrick had a superior run on the outside. Speaking of superior, Sean Bradford is. He's the leader.
Yeah, Kendrick knew he had to get back to the outside. That's definitely the place to be, and Bradford certainly picked the right side of the racetrack to start on. The outside is certainly the superior line.
It is. You see all the cars right now, Sammy. They're all up there. You look back through the field, they're all sitting to that higher group. Very rare do we see a car down the bottom.
Bradley Maiolo is third. You can see their problem for Cam Gessner. It looks as though they haven't solved that issue he spoke to Charmaine about with the car jumping in and out of gear. So Gessner, his run, it halts after 4 laps of this 25-lap journey. And the race has just lost one of its heavy hitters, gentlemen.
He'll be really disappointed with that. I noticed on the infield there, it looked like the car got back into gear, and I think, yeah, that's a well-equipped team.
Kendrick's gone too. Kendrick's gone to the infield as well. Oh, what? Bradford, in an attempt to pass a slower car, has found the concrete wall. Bradford will be gutted. Made an error there, and in 15 seconds we lost 3 of our best cars in the shape of Bradford. Watch this again. Rides the wheel and bang, that's a big accident. Kendrick and also Gessner, the other 2 drivers I'm alluding to, both of whom pulled to the infield 5 seconds apart. Well, different looking race now.
It certainly is, David. We made the call earlier. We said lap traffic, and there it was. As soon as they got to lap traffic, Bradford made a little bit of a miscalculation. Thing could go around the car there, and we can all see the result.
Well, the speed he come up on the lap car too, it probably would have made it very difficult at the time, but yeah, just a lot of speed coming up on that lap traffic.
Yeah, look, the good news is Sean's okay. Here's Charmaine on the infield.
Sean, first of all, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, a lot better than the car.
The car looks horrible. What happened?
I come up on the lap cars real fast, and there's just such a huge difference in speed to what I was doing to them, and come around the outside of a lap car and just misjudged it slightly. I think he moved up, but it's too late by the time you sort of, it's just got to hang on.
You got to think fast too, don't you?
Yeah, the track is really fast up the top there, and it's too, you know, the room for error is so close, and I guess it's one of them things. It's just hard luck for the whole team being so fast all night and so fast for the last few weeks.
Bad luck, mate.
Thanks, sir.
It's a fine line between hero and heartbreak in this sport. Brad Mayolo, he's the beneficiary, finds himself up front with Kai Scroop in second, then Jamie Mayolo underway. There are still 20 laps to run in tonight's main event. Hopefully we won't lose any more cars. Extraordinary set of circumstances prior to that stoppage. Mayolo in full flight. Let's have a talk, gentlemen, as we watch the top order here about chassis in the sport. This man on screen was running J&Js. We note he's now steering a Maxim.
Yeah, the Maxim car seems to be one of the preferred cars at the moment, David. You know, J&Js have had a bit of a run, and I noticed the two Mayolos are actually running different cars at the moment. Previously, they would have both run J&Js. But some of these cars, they have their own characteristics. They're similar measurements, similar dimensions, but they'll flex differently depending on how they're welded up. And right at the moment, Maxim, I'd almost say, is a resurgence, Sammy.
Yeah, look, I think the biggest thing with them is very, very easy to work with. The setup window is a lot wider, generally, you'll find with a Maxim, whereas cars like the KPCs or the J&Js that are also popular at the time are a little bit harder to get right on their night.
Yeah, Mayolo there was pushing the inside line on that lap cars. We're back in that lap traffic phase here, just as you talk about these different types of chassis, and you can see how much momentum he loses on that lap traffic.
They're going to have to be very smart when they do catch up the traffic. Now look at Mayolo try and go around the outside here. He's when he has tried to effect the pass on the inside, he's lost so much ground, as you said. The track's so slick, that's how you're going to have to get it done. It's either going to have to be by a slide job, get a run right up on the back of the car in front of you and pull to the inside and slide across and take their line away from them, as he does again, and he's got a couple of cars now between himself and the second place car.
Mid-race distance, Bradley Mayolo threading the eye of the needle in lap traffic. I think Warren used the word resurgence in relation to Maxim chassis. I think that's fair comment. Probably a decade ago you had to have a Maxim if you wanted to win. Then the situation changed somewhat, but they've regenerated in many respects. Of course, we can't forget about the Cool chassis, the locally produced product out of Warrnambool. It is still a very competitive package. Lap 14 of 25 now, Mayolo up on the inside.
Yeah, it certainly is a good chassis, actually. There's a lot of guys still running those Cool cars. But I see Sammy Mayolo, I think, is just starting to perfect that slide job on the lap cars. He's starting to find his rhythm really nicely.
No problem. On the top turns, the fence cam captures it adequately, and we've got a fire out there, a methanol fire. It's Pigden. Spectacular scenes at the Motorplex. Watch the crash crew get into action here, and Pigden will want to get the heck out of that race car. They're on the scene quickly.
Pigden's done an excellent job of looking out for the crash crew there and the fire crew. He's got the car right to them, so yeah, no, great job by him. Obviously the tank's been ruptured in that hit. Somewhere it's been pierced, and somehow sparks caught it alight.
That's a pretty unusual situation there, Sam, because the bladders in these things are normally excellent. They're an aircraft grade bladder and normally hold up to any of these sort of impacts, but he's had a real hard hit in the rear there.
Yeah, very rare that you do see that. Obviously something's just grabbed the rear of the car.
Yeah, you can
very
see
hard to see, but
There was a fair way back in the pack, so relying on the fence cam vision. Spectacular scenes. I can't say that I've seen that in sprint car racing for a very long time. I recall a superset incident in Tasmania a couple of seasons back that was like that, a fireball that lit up the racetrack. But the news from the scene is that all drivers are okay. It's a bit of a mess. Let's find out more with Charmaine.
Trent, I bet your butt never moved so fast out of that car in your life.
Oh, definitely. I felt someone whack me just in that crash there. Someone whacked me in the back, and then just looked down and the whole cab was full of flames. So, yeah, tried to find these guys and pulled straight on the infield, and obviously they were there straight away, so it was good.
You okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Cheers.
Kai, that looked like a pretty hard hit. How you doing?
Yeah, no, it was okay. It wasn't too bad. I was just disappointed at lap cars, trying to race it all the time, and it's not the first time this guy's taken out a lap car or taken out a couple of winning cars, anyways. Yeah, just disappointed.
It's a shame, but we'll see you next time, eh?
Yeah, we'll be here.
Kai's group enduring another tough night at the office. Here's another look at it.
Very much just caught up there in lap traffic again, David. I mean, all these guys are having a bit of a struggle. The closing rate is very difficult, and you see even the guys in the background, that's where Trent Bigden got caught out. He's trying to pull up and somebody else couldn't see what was going on in front, and we can see the aftermath right there.
Incredible scenes. Sammy, when was the last time you saw something like that?
Probably Donny Schatz in Chico, California. Big fire a few years back, and I think generally you ask most race car drivers what's the scariest thing, what are they most scared of in racing, and it's fire.
Oh, no question. So back underway in the main event, mid-race distance or a fraction beyond that. Brad Maiolo leads his brother Jamie Maiolo, and the kid out in front, I'll tell you something, he's not going to give it up easily, particularly given that it's his brother behind him.
No, he's not, and I tell you what, he's doing a great job out there. He's the guy that's probably figured out how to get through the lap traffic best, and when he's not in traffic, he's able to put down some really good laps.
The car looks really smooth on that line too. It looks really comfortable on the cushion, and as we've said, I mean, he's picked that slide job up with relative ease. I mean, first couple of cars he got by was a little bit tentative, but after that he's really opened up to it, and he's laying it down.
Just 21 years of age, debuted in a 360 sprint car at this very venue. It was a few seasons ago now. His maiden feature race win was at the Perth Motorplex as well. That was last season, if memory serves me correctly. The car powered by an engine prepared by Peter Morris from Maxwell Racing Engines in Adelaide. Does a tremendous job, Peter. And that engine is serving Bradley particularly well tonight. He now looms up behind a slower car and gets down on the inside. It was Ryan Lancaster.
You can see how much ground he just lost to his brother then. I mean, he's still got a lap car in between him, but whoa, Beckham's lost his wing.
Wow, that's a tight move right there.
Very lucky there. I mean, Beckham losing that wing, that unbelievable how much difference that makes to the aerodynamics of the car and how much it allows it to turn the corner so much faster. And he was, Maiolo was very lucky there on his outside too, not to be caught out.
Piece of the wing is still on the track midway between turns 1 and 2. Under normal circumstances, the race would be stopped. There it is, the side of the wing has peeled off. So we'll see what happens here with 4 laps to go. Jamie Maiolo on screen. He runs in second place. He's 33 years of age. Debuted in junior sedans at Bunbury back in 1993. And guess what his debut car was? It was a Datsun 120Y, thank you very much.
Plenty of speed in that one.
A bit different what he's sitting in tonight, that's for sure. 2 laps to go. And that piece of wing is still on the track. Officials obviously determining that it's safe to continue. I guess there are no spectators that add into the circuit.
No, but if a car does run over, we've got a very good chance of cutting a tyre down, and especially for somebody like our leader, that'd be terrible. But nothing you never want to see pieces of race car sitting on the racetrack.
No. Bradley Maiolo looks like he's going to get the job done here. Big push on the exit of turn 4 there, and Jamie, his elder brother, he thought he had some chance and stood on it hard. But Bradley is going to win tonight's AHG Series main event. What an effort across the line, and the youngster takes it. Jamie Maiolo second, then Sydney's Ian Loudon, followed by Callum Williamson and Lee Nash. Well, hold your head high, young man. That was a superb drive.
Done an excellent job, worked traffic perfectly, and just maintained his lead the whole way. I'm sure it'll be a big party back at the Maiolo residence later on tonight.
Yeah, 1-2. The family's got to be happy about that one, definitely.
Yeah, Dad'd be grinning from ear to ear. We go to the Valvoline SynPower race recap now. And the vision from Jason Kendrick initially. He was our quick time man tonight and looked pretty good. Unfortunately, he left the race very early What about that for a way of leaving the race? That was extraordinary of Sean Bradford.
Yeah, really big hit. Lucky he's got away okay, and bit of damage. But as we see in this one, Pigden also lucky to be safe as well.
There's a lot of luck right there. I mean, he picked out the fire crew. Good job there by Trent. You know, it's very dangerous when you got fire in the race car, and as we said, scary moment.
Especially early in the race like that, there would have been a lot of fuel to burn.
I thought it was very intelligent there of Trent Pigden too with the car ablaze. He drove over and parked right beside the crash crew. He knew exactly what was going on.
Yep. Tells you he's got his mind on the job, just like this guy out front.
Yeah, Brad Mayolo, he was under siege in the final stages by his elder brother, but Jamie's charge was to prove to no avail in the end.
I'm going to follow you around here, Ian. You all right? Okay. Congratulations. I haven't spoken to you all night and you come in for a sneaky third. That's good.
Yeah, we finally got it right, I guess. We were lucky that a few cars dropped out there and all that, but we were good until that last restart with 12 to go or something. We had no brakes left, so it was just a matter of leave a big enough gap to not do anything stupid. And, it's hard to contend for wins like that, but we had good speed and just hopefully we can get a little earlier than night.
You'll take third.
Yeah, we will, thanks.
Congratulations. It's a 1-2 for you guys, the Mayolo team.
Yeah, we're here a couple of shows ago and we ran a second and third, so it's great. Great for the LJM race team and all our sponsors. Brilliant.
Do you want to thank your sponsors?
Yeah, I thank all our sponsors, Osquip Industries, Heatley's Industrial, Pro Choice Safety Gear, KC Tools, Panelworks, LJM Racing, and Australian Produce Brokers.
Well done.
Thanks a lot.
Congratulations, Brad. You did it. You picked a great night to play that Joker.
Yeah, definitely. It paid dividends. Car was good. Track was widening out, seeing a bit better racing. The lap cars were a bit of trouble, but what are you going to do?
Well, congratulations, and I'll let you go get that trophy.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, he's really happy, understandably so. He played his Joker tonight too, which is denoted there by the asterisks on screen. A few drivers did. And Bradley, by virtue of that, goes to the top of the standings in the AHG Sprintcar Series in advance of Pride and Soderoff. Tonight not being kind to some of the bigger name drivers in the West. Speedway Racing News is on sale now. The February edition, it's an absolute beauty with Tim Kading on the front cover. Of course, Kading winning the Grand Annual Classic. Big story in that publication pertaining to Chris Holder. Australia's 2012 World Speedway Champion has turned his back on British Speedway. You can read more about that in SRN. Next week, it's the PowerEye Australian Speed Car Super Series, and you'll see it from Archerfield Speedway in Brisbane Wednesday night at 8:30. Really looking forward to that one. Gentlemen, what a night it has been.
Another action-packed night at Granada. Great to be here and can't wait for the next round.
Yeah, we've seen everything tonight, Dave. We've seen fire, we've seen upside down, we've seen broken cars, and we've seen a winner there in Bradley Mayolo.
There's a photo the Mayolo family will well and truly cherish. Bradley Mayolo in the centre, the winner tonight, Jamie on the left, and there's Ian Loudon too. He's extremely happy to be in Perth tonight. Nice looking trophy. There's Bradley Mayolo, he got the job done. We do thank you for your company this week on Chequered Flag. We'll catch you for more action next week.
You've been watching Chequered Flag on Speed, proudly presented by Valvoline SynPower, delivering the ultimate motor oil protection and performance.